Self-harm or self-injury is when somebody intentionally harms or damages their bodies by, for instance, cutting or burning themselves. Self-harm is a complex behavior that is often misunderstood. Some people do not understand why would anybody want to harm themselves when most people do their utmost to protect themselves from injury. So, is self-harm an irrational behavior? No, it is not. So, why do people self-harm? Well, there is not one single explanation behind self-harm, as people engage in this behavior for different reasons. For instance, self-harm could be a way of expressing extremely distressing emotions that an individual is experiencing. For others, self-harm may be a cry for help. Furthermore, some people self-harm because they want to feel something when they feel emotionally numb. Additionally, some people self-harm because they feel that they are inherently bad and they need to be punished. Consequently, self-harm is not just an irrational behavior. Instead, it is an expression of distress that reflects an individual's difficulties. Regrettably, some people around those who self-harm may react in ways that are not helpful. For instance, some people may condemn that behavior, uttering statements such as, "How could you do that to yourself?" Others may blame those who self-harm for upsetting others. Alternatively, some people may ignore those who self-harm because they think that it's a way of seeking attention. Additionally, some people will encourage those who self-harm to stop doing that. Unfortunately, all the aforementioned responses are likely to make the individual who self-harms feel worse about themselves. In turn, this is likely to overwhelm them, thereby exacerbating the self-harming behavior. Another aspect of self-harm that I wanted to discuss is that although some people who self-harm are at high risk of suicide, many people who self-harm do not want to kill themselves. In fact, self-harm is a way of coping with extremely distressing emotions so that they don't feel the need to end their lives. Many people have asked me the question, what shall I do if somebody close to me self-harms? Well, to begin with, even if it's difficult to understand the mechanisms behind self-harm, it's important to keep in mind that the individual who self-harms experiences a high level of suffering. So, the best way to respond to self-harm is to be calm and to listen to the individual in an empathic and non-judgmental way. Additionally, due to the complexity of self-harm, accessing competent professional help is paramount. However, for those who self-harm, reaching out for help may feel overwhelming. So if you are supporting somebody who self-harms, help them to access mental health services. I know that many people who self-harm feel ashamed about what they do, and they try to conceal any signs of it. Therefore, I would like to say to them that there shouldn't be any shame about self-harm, as self-harm is not a random or irrational behavior. Instead, it's an expression of a variety of painful emotions that an individual is experiencing and that generally requires professional help. Most people, including myself, experience a great deal of compassion for those who suffer. So, if you suffer, talk to a family member, or a friend that you trust, or talk to a mental health professional.